This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, good afternoon, good evening, as per your locations and time zone. Let us start today's session. See, in the previous class, we have talked about set command, awk command, cut command, etc. Now, let us start talking about very important aspect in scripting, which is called as variables. So let me take you to variable chapter. All right. See, what is variable? Guys, variable is a name given to set of data. Whenever in the script you have to repeat same data again and again, instead of typing that data again and again, we can create a variable and store the data inside it. Whenever you call the variable, the data inside that variable will be displayed, right? Let me give you a small example how to set a variable. Suppose I want to create a variable and store some data inside it. Let's say I want to create a variable called name. Inside it, I would like to store some data like Musab. So what I did, I created a variable with a name called name, and inside it I stored the data Musab. Now whenever I call that variable, you see whatever data you have stored inside it will be printed, right? Now you see there are certain rules related to variable. What are that? See, a variable name can start, it can start either by letter small a to z or capital A to Z. It can also have numbers 0 to 9, right? No special character is allowed in the name of variable except underscore. The only allowed special character in the name is underscore. And variable name can either start with underscore or it can start with name. But variable name, listen to me carefully, variable name cannot be started with a number. Suppose you have employee table. So you can create employee 01, employee 02, employee 03. That is fine. But you cannot create a variable name like one employee, two employee. So variable name cannot be started with number. Number can be used, but within the name in between. So your variable name cannot be started by number, and the reason is our system uses some special variables which are used, which are what I can say, they uses the numbers inside it. So for that purpose, it is not allowed to us to use a variable name as number, because special variable concept use number. What is that special variable? That also we will learn, but in coming time. And what set of data I can keep inside my variable? There is no data type. Guys, if you are aware of C programming, there are some data types that only you can store inside variable concept. But in Linux, in shell scripting, there is no data type. You can store one letter, you can store one number, you can store one word, you can store one sentence, or even you can store one paragraph. So there is no special data type. Whatever type of data you want, you can store inside variable. Now there are some properties of the variable that we will discuss. So what are the properties of variable? See, a variable can be RO, read only, or it can be read write, or a variable can be local or it can be global. See, by default, whenever you create a variable, by default, it would be having two features. One is a variable will be read and write and local. What is that local and global? That also we will study in a short while. But first you understand what is the difference between read write and read only variable. See, read write variable means last time I created a variable called name. Inside it, I kept a variable called data called Musa. Now I want to change this content. So you can say name equals to suppose Kishore. You see, I am able to change the content of the variable. And how is it possible I am able to change the content? Because the variable is read and write. That means I can read the content of variable and I can change the content whenever it is required. This is what read and write concept is all about. But guys, if I make it read only, then the content of that variable is not changeable. Before that, I will also show you how to delete the variable. Suppose I don't want to use this variable. So you can use a command unset and the variable name. Now you try to read the content, the data is gone. So even unsetting is working because the variable type is read and write. Suppose I will create one variable, name equals to Sajid. Now you run the command, I am able to see the content. You can create multiple variables. There is no limit how many variables you can create. So suppose I would like to make it read only. See, I don't want anyone to change the content of my variable. It happens in the script also. See, I want to make sure that the variable what I have created, the content of the variable should not be changed. So in that scenario, we will make it read only. How to make it read only? You can say read only variable name. Now it has read only. Let me try to change the content. Suppose I'll try to give it Maruti. Do you see it is allowing me to change? No, because the variable is marked as read only. Suppose I'll say unset name. It says you cannot unset it also because it is read only. Now the question here is, if it is not changeable, if it is not deletable, then how can I remove read-only variables? See, I'll show you the trick. There is no direct command to remove this read-only variable, but there is a trick what we will use. What is that trick? Let me explain you. I'll take the sketchboard. See guys, suppose you have created the variable. First of all, you understand that whatever variables you are creating, these are temporary and they get stored inside RAM. Whenever we try to log in into the system, the moment I give username and password, it gives me one process ID. In this process ID, it stores whatever I am doing within that session, especially variables. So suppose I have created a variable over here. I made it read only, whatever it might be. The moment I log out, see this process ID will be killed. Whatever I did in that process ID, that will also get removed because it is temporary, right? So you see, if you want to remove a read-only variable, like I'm not able to remove this variable now, simply I will log out and I will re-log in. Let me just re-log in here. And now if I say echo dollar name, you see that variable is gone. So in order to remove read-only variable, you just need to log out and log in. Unfortunately, there is no direct method to remove read-only variable. The only method what is widely used is after your work is over with that read-only variable, just log out and log in. So whatever changes you have done, and those are temporary by nature, so they'll get removed automatically. But let us say every time creating variables whenever we logged in is little bit tough. What I want is I want to make my variable permanent so that now also it should be there, and even after reboot also it should be there. I'll show you how to make that. But before that, let us try to understand what is the difference between local and global variable. See, global variable is also called as environmental variable that works within your environment, within your system anywhere. So what is that difference? Suppose I would like to create a variable called car, and I'll say the car name is Maruti. So you see, when I say echo dollar car, I'm getting that data. That is fine. But let me take one more shell, and here I'll say echo dollar car. So you see, it is telling nothing. Acha, if I leave this shell, go back and again run, it is working. So what is this? Why it is working on one shell and why it is not working on another shell? It is because your variable is local variable. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want this. Now, how can I make it global? See, again, let us understand in this way that I have a RAM. In the RAM, I'm having a process ID. Within that process ID, I created one variable called car. So it is only available locally within that process ID. When I take one more shell, it is giving me another process ID. Suppose this was process ID X and the new process ID I got is Y. So whatever I did under X is not available in Y. The reason it is local. Now, if you want it to be used environmentally, globally by everyone, then you should export this particular variable. When you export it into the RAM, now whoever is able to access it on every shell, it would be available. So it's like you are making it global. Everyone can see that, everyone can use it. So when you make it global, all of them can use it. If you don't make it global, you keep it local. So only within your shell, only within your login session, you can use it. Other people will not be able to use it. So in order to export it or make it global, we need to export it. So how can I export it? Let me show you. See guys, as of now, if I just say PS, you see I'm working on this process ID 2269 where I created a variable called car. Now if I say echo dollar car, I'm able to work. But when I say bash, you do PS. You see, it created one more shell here, 2386, one more process ID. And here if I say echo dollar car, I'm not able to access it because that variable car was local. Now I'll go back to my previous shell and I'll say export. Export what? The variable called car. Now you
Sorry,
take a new session.
when we log, I mean, when you get into this bash, Why the old PID was showing in the first?
Because I did not exited old PID na bhai. See, I came to first floor, then I went to second floor. So first floor was not demolished. It is there. So I did not log out. I log in into first and then I access the other. So that is also working. This is also working.
So how many bash shells I can get into?
N number,
N
no
number.
limit. N number. So now as you see, I got a new shell with new process ID maybe. And here if I say echo dollar $car, you see it's working now. So this is what I wanted to explain. If you want a variable to be used globally within your operating system, then you should export it. When you export it, it is accessible by everyone, right? Just excuse me for a moment, guys. I'll be back in a moment. Sorry about. Thank you very much, guys, for your patience. Okay, so now it became global and you can access it from everywhere. But still, guys, whatever variable I have created is temporary. That means now it is there. If I log out and log in, I will be losing it because I did not made it permanent. Suppose I log out. See, now I completely got off log out. Now again I am logging in and let me go for it. And now if I say echo dollar $car, you see it got lost because the variable what you have created was temporary. It was not permanent. So how can I make a variable permanent? Guys, in order to make a variable permanent, first of all, create a variable. For example, this time I'll say car equals to Polo. And so that everyone can access it, I can also export it, export the variable car, so all the shells will be able to access it. But I don't want it to be a temporary change. I want to make it permanent so that every time I log in, this change should be available. In order to make a variable permanent, I hope if you have installed any applications like Oracle or SAP, you might have come across this requirement, making some paths or something permanent
Yeah,
for
environment
application.
variable. Environment
Right,
variable.
environmental variable. So what we will do is, as a root in your current directory, that is root directory, you will find that there are two files, bash profile or bash rc. Any of the file you can take, there is no problem. Both will give you same results. The main file is actually bash rc, which is the script that will make those variables available. But you can also keep the same information in bash profile. These are hidden files if you see starting with dot. So let me go to bash underscore profile, and here you see it is explaining you how can you put something. It says give this thing and then export it, right? So what I'll do, I'll say car equals to polo and I'll say export car. So if you observe here, even though when you are putting the data in bash profile, it is trying to check bash rc only, right? So it is not this thing that you have to put it in bash profile only. If you like, you can update bash rc, same method, or you can keep it in bash profile. Mostly people prefer going with bash profile, so I am also going with bash profile. But just for your knowledge, I am telling you that same change you can put it in bash rc also if you don't want in bash profile. Result would be same. Now let me save and quit. Now I will log out. Again, I will log in. Let me give username, password. And now if I say echo dollar $car, you see that variable is permanent. It is not getting removed the moment I log out. So this is the way you can make your variables, and you can also make them permanent so that every time you're logging out, logging in, you don't have to worry about again creating those variables. This is also called as setting environmental variable, as Maruti said. For installing some applications or something, they would ask us to create such variables and make them uh,
Permanent.
permanent.
Sir, can you type env pipe symbol grep car?
Yeah. Env, it will show you all the variables what you have created. This will show you your variables. You can say env
Pipe
grep
symbol grep
car.
car.
So you see it is showing you that this is your environmental variable what you have set. Env is a command that will show you all environmental variables and even the variable what you have made recently, environmental or global. So env, you can check that thing. Okay, now this is outside of script. Let us create one script and use this thing into our script. See what I'll do, I'll create one script 03.sh. We will start first with shebang statement. Then we will add a comment strip us to use variables. See, very simple script I'm creating. It may not sound very interesting, but just as a basic I'm going with this, then I'll make it more interesting slowly. Suppose I want to use two variables here in my script. First, you should define the variable, then you should call the variable. Sometimes people do mistake that first they will mention to use the variable and bottom of the script they will define the variable. That way is wrong. It is not going to work out. First define the variable, then call the variable. So guys, in this scenario, I'll say name equals to Musab and location equals to Hyderabad, something. Now guys, I would like to use this. I'll say with some message echo my name is. To call the variable, I'll say $name. See, variable name can be small letters or capital letters. There is no restriction. You can use anything. And I can say echo my location is $LOC. Now let me save and quit. See guys, this file is not having execute permission. Let us give +X and execute permission to it. It has execute permission. Now let me run that script. You see it is using, sorry, script3.sh. It is using that variable data and printing it. Maybe next time I would like to go with other name. So I'll simply go to this particular thing. Suppose I'll say that the name is Kishore and location is UK, for example. Now, if I rerun my script, you see automatically it is calling that variable and getting the data printed. Last time I kept Musab and Hyderabad. This time I changed it to Kishore and UK. This is very simple basic script. Now I will create one script with many colors inside it. I mean colors in the sense many things inside it, not literally mean color. That means many features inside it, if I can say. Suppose I would like to create a script to create some users and assign password. First of all, I will create the script without variables. Then I will use variable inside it and I'll show you that how your work has made simple with the help of variables, right? And the variables that you have created within the script is only accessible there. It won't be available outside of the script. There only it will get created under that process ID, because new bash shell will be taken whenever you run the script because of shebang. So in that bash shell, the script will create that variable, use it and delete it. That's it. So now let me create a new script. I'll say script04.sh. Very interesting script I'm trying to show you guys. Concentrate and ask me if there is any questions related to it. First of all, as usual, we will start with shebang bin bash. If you like, you can add a comment, which is a good idea. I'll say script to create user and assign password. Suppose guys, I would like to create one user. First, I will print a message. I'll say adding a user, suppose Krishna, right? And how to add the user? I will run the command user add Krishna. Then suppose I would like to maybe what I'll do is I will give one more message. Echo user Krishna added successfully. Then I would like to change the password for this user or set the password. So I'll say password for the user Krishna. After everything is done, I would like to print a message. Echo user Krishna added or user Krishna password set successfully. Right? Something like that I'm using. Now just observe guys how many times I'm using Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. If next time I would go with some other user, the whole script I have to modify. We'll see that. Let me save and quit. Guys, let's give it execute permission. Chmod plus x script04.sh. So it has execute permission. See, as of now, there is no user with the name Krishna. Only my user U1, U2, U3 is there. Let me execute my script. Dot slash script4. So you see adding user Krishna added successfully, changing the password for Krishna. Let me set the password as red, R-E-D. See, user Krishna password set successfully. Done. Maybe next time I want to create another user now, Kishore. So guys, if I want to change the username now, the whole script I need to sit and modify again. Wherever the word Krishna is there, I have to replace with Kishore. Instead of that, the most simplest thing I can do is I can use variable. Suppose I will create a variable called user equals to whatever name. Suppose I want the username as Kishore. And wherever that username is required, I'll simply call the variable called user, right? Let me just copy this so that multiple times I can paste it, right? So wherever the word is required, I'll simply call the variable. So like that, next time when I'm going to use another name, I don't have to totally modify the script. Only changing the value in the variable will make my work do. Now wherever I need that username, I'm calling it with a variable $user. Let us see now, will it work properly as per our requirement or not? Let me run the script. You see adding user Kishore added successfully, changing the password. Let me type the password, right? User Kishore password set successful. Maybe now I would like to go with another user, Sajid. So you see, I don't have to modify the whole script. Just I will change the data inside the variable user to Sajid. Wherever that variable is called, the name Sajid will be used. Now if I rerun my script, you see adding user Sajid added successfully, changing the password, set the password, and it is done. So by using one variable, I have made my script so simple that every time if I want to change the value, the whole script need not to be modified. But again, this script is missing many things. Let us make it more and more useful now. See, here the problem is it is asking me to type the password manually. See, when I say automation, automation must not ask anything manually. Everything should be done automatic. It should not require anyone to interfere inside it or to interact with that. So how can I ask my script to assign password also within the script? See, one way of doing this is, suppose people try like this. I'll say password for Sajid Red Hat. You see, this is not going to work. It is telling only one username you can give. So password command is thinking that Sajid is one username and Red Hat is another username. It is not understanding that Red Hat is a password I want to give it. So how can I assign password in single prompt instead of two times? See, as a root, you have a power to do this. Suppose if you run password command, there is an option here, guys, stdin, standard input, right? So by using standard input, in single shot, you can assign password. See, I want to change the password of Sajid to Red Hat. I can say, carefully observe this, guys. I'm telling echo Red Hat. Now I am printing that message red hat, but I am telling password command to set the password of Sajid user from standard input. That means I'm telling whatever input you are getting from echo command, use that input as a password. See, pipe command will combine two things. First command output will be treated as input to second command. I hope you know this. So when I'm telling take input from standard input, whatever message is printed by Red Hat, sorry, by Echo, that message is taken as input for password. You see, in single attempt, my password is changed. So can't I use this concept in assigning the password in a single line? No need to repeat that password twice. So let us create one more user here called Maruti. And I want Maruti password to be automatically taken. See, for ease of access, I'll create one more variable password with a name Red Hat. See, maybe sometimes I would like to change the password. I don't want to use same password. So I can change the value here only. So suppose I want to create a new user called Maruti, and when it comes to password, I want to take it from standard input. So I would say echo, call the password variable $pass and give pipe. I'll say take password for $user from standard input, right? Now you see how your script goes automatic. I'll say script04.sh. Adding user Maruti added successfully, changing the password. Password also changed automatically. So the whole script you see got executed. It created the user, it set the password. I don't have to interact. I just need to run the script. But still, guys, see here, whatever user I might be creating, I am always giving the same password Red Hat. And guys, this is not a good idea that every user you are creating, you keep a common password. Everyone knows whenever this guy creates the user, he'll give password Red Hat. So for security reason, it would be good if I create users with different passwords every time. Now guys, the script is not that much intelligent to think new password and assign. But I should make my script to take new password every time. How? Now guys, before I can go for this, I would like to show you one more concept called command substitution. This I have showed you earlier also. I'm just repeating it. Guys, within a variable, if you want to store some commands, how you can do that? Suppose whenever I run a variable Musab, I want to run a command inside it. So how can I run a command inside it? Guys, you can use backquotes and put the command, for example, date. Now, whenever I called echo dollar variable, what it is doing? Printing the date. Suppose I have one more user called Krish, sorry, one more variable Krish. Inside it, I would like to print a command called uptime. Whenever I say, or maybe I'll go with other method. See, there are two ways of storing a command in a variable. One is backquote, other is dollar and bracket. Suppose I want to put uptime. Now, if I say echo dollar Krish, you see, this is the way you can store some commands in the variable so that whenever you call the variable, the command inside it should get executed. This is called command substitution. Storing commands in the variable, calling the variable will execute that script, that command. So same thing I would like to do in my script to generate new password. Guys, this is really interesting. You're going to enjoy this. How can I get new numbers every time? Guys, there is a concept called
Loop?
MD5 sum. Yes,
No,
yes,
I'm
Maruti.
just no, I'm just saying loop.
Loop. Why we are
Uh,
talking about loop here? Loop is very
okay, no
far.
problem, no problem. Yeah, sure. No, no, you are asking some new number, right? That's why I. Okay, no problem. Okay, no, sir. You can continue, sir.
So I was talking about a command called MD5 sum. Guys, MD stands for message digest FISUM. And guys, it is also called as checksum. Normally, why we use MD FISUM? We use MD FISUM to check integrity of a file. Is it the same file we used last time, or from last time to now there are changes in my file? Suppose I have this file mail.txt. See, I'm getting some random numbers here. You repeat n number of time, you'll get same result, same number, because since last time it has not been changed. There is no change in the content. Suppose now I will go to mail.txt and I will try to make some change inside it. For example, I'll say new line added. Did I make some change in the file? Yes. See, as soon as you change the content of the file, maybe you have added, deleted, or modified anything, you see the value of MD5sum will change. Earlier it was 1473 EC, but you see now it has totally changed, right? So this is what MD5sum will do. Guys, whenever you are downloading software from internet, I don't know how many of you have observed, like VLC Media Player, or maybe Oracle VirtualBox, or maybe any software from internet, it will show you checksum values. So why they mention that checksum? So that after downloading, you can map the checksum, that on the website what is checksum, and after downloading what is the checksum. If the checksum of website matching to your software checksum, that means while downloading there was no interference happen to your software. But suppose the website checksum value is different, and after downloading your software is showing different value, that means while downloading something happened to your download. Maybe it did not download it properly, or someone tried to add some malicious things into your software, your download. So this is how we will check. If checksum values are matching, then you are confident that this is the same file which you have downloaded from internet. There was no interference while downloading. If checksum values are not same, then it is doubtful and we will not use that software. That's the reason checksums are used, or this MD5 sums are used. MD5 sum is also known as checksum. You visit any website and check the software, it will have checksum value at the bottom. Anyway, how can I use this thing for generating new passwords? See guys, checksum value changes whenever there is a change in file or output. Now guys, I cannot ask my script to always edit the file checksum. Can you tell me guys, do you have any such thing that changes very fast in your system or in our environments, from which I can get new output every time? Do you have any idea guys, anything that changes so rapidly?
System time.
Very good. The time of the system changes every second. So by the output of time, I can generate new output. See, when I say date, You see now it is 23. After that 26. Every second it changes. So if I say date MD5 sum, you see now I'm getting some data. After a second, if I repeat it, I'll get other data. Again, after a second, I'll get other data. Again, after a second, I'll get other data. So guys, using this concept, I can get some random characters which can be used as a password. But guys, I cannot use such a big thing. It is too much. See, instead of taking all, maybe I wanted to take first 7 or 8 characters. See guys, to cut characters, you can use a command cut -c. Guys, cut command can also cut number of characters. If I say cut first character, it will only show first character. But if I say cut from 1 to 7 characters, so you see it is giving me 7 characters. Can I use that for my password? One more time, I get other one. One more time, other one. One more time, other one. So whenever I am assigning the password, I want my script to run this command, take some random data and assign the password. So let us substitute this command in our variable. So let me go back to vim script04.sh. See, here is my password command. So I'll say in password, I want to store a command. See, to store a command, just now I showed you, you can use backquotes or dollar bracket. So I'll say whenever password command is called, run this command and get some numbers. And same to be used over here. But guys, I want this password to be displayed for me so that at least for first time I should share this password with my clients. So let me type one message, echo hyphen e user is equals to username, and in new line password is equals to $pass, so that at least I should know what is the password. If it is not printing the password, automatically taking the password, how would I know what is the password it took? So that at least for first time I will give a user to use it. Now let me change this username. Suppose I would like to go with a user called Musab. Now let me save and quit. Let us run the script 04.sh. So you see, user Musab added successfully, password is also created. What is the password? 1318161. Now let me try login with this user and the password 131 whatever might be. So you see, I am successfully able to log in with that password. So this is how every time your script can generate new passwords and give it to user. So I can forward this password. Now user can change that password after login. But guys, I don't want it to be little lenient that user can change if he or she wants. I want to force them. Like in our banking it happens. Initially they'll give you a temporary password. You use it, but the moment you use it, it says change and continue to next. So I want to force a user to change the password at next login. See, how can we do that? I'll take you back to user admin class now. See, we have a command chage to set parameters for the user. Like I have a user called Musab. If you see that password is never going to expire. Guys, there is an option with chage with which I can force a user to change the password at next login immediately. So I can say chage date of expiry of a password is today only. 0 means today. For which user? Musab. Now you see it is mentioned password must change, password must change. Let me log in as that user Musab. I'll type my password, what I got from administrator. See, it accepted the password, but it is telling me that you are required to change the password immediately. You'll just log out without changing. Next time you log in, same question. Unless you change your password, it is not going to leave you, right? So this also I want to implement in my script. So what to do now? Let us go back to our script 04.sh. Suppose I want to add a user called Steve, and I want that Steve user password to be expire immediately today only. So next day user login must change the password. So I'll say change the age, date of expiry of the password today only, for which user $use. Now you see when I run this script, user Steve created successfully. I got that password. Let me log in as this user Steve and give the password. You see, the moment I try to log in for the first time, it says me that this password has expired. It is not telling expired also. It is telling you are required to change it. Go for it immediately. So now you can set your password, whatever you like, and continue. Now the script has given you proper meaning. So you see, this is how our script is working. In phase 1, I am adding the user. Then I am printing the message user added successfully. Phase 2, I am setting automatic password, right? And the password is generated automatically with MD5, some random characters. And after that, I am making sure that this password expire immediately, and at the first login, user must change the password to continue, right? So this is the way how we can work with this concept of variable, and we can store what I can say normal data, or you can store commands inside it. One more thing, if you would like to store huge amount of data, I mean more than one word, then what to do? Suppose I'm trying to say that name equals to one sentence I want to put. My name is Musab Sayyed. You see, when I say echo $name, it is not able to store it. See, there is no rule that you can only store one letter, one number. I told you there is no data types, you can store whatever you like. But the spaces here are creating some issue. So how to store more than one word or a big sentence or paragraph inside it? For that, you have to use single quote or double quote. Both are fine. Now if I say echo $name, you see a sentence got stored inside it. If you are storing one word, no need to use quotes. But when you are using a sentence, then it is preferable to use this thing, right? Now one more thing, guys. See, I would like to substitute arithmetic operators within my variable. One second. So command substitution we have understood. Now let us understood arithmetic substitution or arithmetic operators, what I can use within a variable. See, arithmetic operators are what? Plus, minus, or multiplication, division. So you can use plus for addition, minus for subtraction, star for multiplication, and forward slash for division. And you have to do these operations under bracket. So how to work with that? Let me explain you. Suppose I want to do some calculation. If I say echo 10 plus 5, you see it is not working. But same thing you can say echo dollar double bracket 10 plus 5. Double bracket is called as arithmetic bracket, and double bracket you must use with dollar so that some execution should happen inside it. Now when I hit enter, you see it is giving me result. You can say 10 minus 5. You can say 10 into 5. You can say 10 divided by 5. See, this is one way. Other way is, suppose I create variable and store some number 10, b 5. I can call that variable and do multiplication addition. I can say echo dollar double bracket. I'll say call the variable, which one? $a plus $b. You see my calculation is going on. Minus, my calculation is going on. Multiplication, calculation is going on. So either you can put direct values or you can deduce the value from other variable. Now let us create one script to create a simple calculator, very simple calculator. So let me go for vim script 05.sh. First of all, shebang, then script to do calculations, right? I'll set the variables. A equals to 100, B equals to 20. Now I'll do calculation. I'll say echo dollar double bracket. I'll say $a plus $b. Close the bracket. Guys, in fact, I can put some messages here. That would be better. I can say addition is equals to. That looks nice, right? Let me copy paste it number of time and I'll change. I'll say subtract. Maybe after that multiply. After that divide. I'll say $a minus dollar. Multiply into divide slash. Now save and quit. Run the script. Okay, I need to apply execute permission to it. I'm sorry. Script 05.sh. Now let us run the script. See, it is doing that thing. Maybe you want different things, so go inside it and change the value. Suppose I will say 10 and B is 5. Run the script and you see it is performing the calculation. Obviously, guys, for such simple task, we are not going to do scripting. We have calculators in our Unix environment we can use. But let me show you a very interesting usage of this arithmetic operators. See guys, we have this command free minus n. You see it is showing you total memory, used memory, free memory in MB space. Suppose I would like to convert these values into percentage for simple explanation. Used percentage is this much, free percentage is this much, like that. So how can I do that? See, a simple calculation is there. What you have to understand here, guys, 1838 is what? It is 100% memory, right? Let me make it in between. It is 100%. Now the question is, what would be 481? So you see, we will use a small equation here to convert these values into percentage. What is the equation we will use? See, the equation we are going to use is 481 or used memory into 100 divided by total memory 1838. Whatever answer you will get, that would be your percentage. So this is a formula what we will use to convert the used memory into percentage or free memory into percentage. Same you can go with free memory. 995 into 100 divided by total memory. That will give you percentage. But to do this, you need arithmetic operators. Let us do it by. Acha, how can I get only memory and second field or third field or fourth field? Guys, let us come back to awk command. I'll say awk. I have already shown you this, so I'm not going to explain it again. I'll say target the line that contains the word memory. And inside it, I'll say print second field to me. So you see it is showing you what? Second field. Same way $3, third field, like that. So I can get the values like that. Let me copy this. See, I'm going to create a script now. Maybe I'll call it mem.sh. We'll start by putting a shebang bin bash, then script to convert memory statistics into percentage. See, first of all, I need to create some variable and keep the commands inside it, because whenever I run the script, new values it should capture by running the command. I can't store always the values 1838, 491 or 985 something. Every time my script should check the current value and convert it. So I'll create a variable called total. How can I get total memory output? See, you have to run a command. Free minus m awk and second field will give you total memory. Then third field will give me used memory. So I'll say run this command, but with third field. Good. Then I would like to go with free. So again run the same command, this time with fourth field. So you see $2 will give me total memory, $3 will give me used memory, and $4 will give me free memory. Now let us use it into our script. I'll say echo. First of all, I want to print total memory. So I would not do anything else, but I'll simply say total memory is equals to, call the variable. What is the variable? Total. But the output is in MB, so I will add MB at the end so that it should be displayed in megabytes for the user who is viewing it. Now I would like to convert free and used. So I'll say echo. See guys, carefully what I'm doing. Used memory is equals to, you need to put that equation. So I'll say dollar double bracket. I'll say dollar used memory into 100 divided by total memory. So you see what I'm doing? I'm calling used memory, whatever value, into 100. And then I'm dividing that value with total memory, whatever value I got. And I want to display this output in percentage, so I will add at the end percentile symbol. Now same thing I would like to do with free memory. So I'll say free memory is equals to same formula, dollar double bracket, dollar free into 100 divided by dollar total. Don't make mistake in variable calling and the formula. Everything would come correctly. Otherwise, you'll get error. Done. Now let me save and quit. Let me apply plus X and run that mem.sh. So you see total memory is 1838 MB. Used memory it says is 26%. Free memory is 54%. See, some memory will be reserved for cache and buffer. So you can use if you want to display that also. How much is used for buffer and cache also. But I am okay with these two. Now you take this on different machine and every time you can find out the usage in percentage. So in order to do this activity, you see how important was that arithmetic substitutors. They helped us to perform arithmetic operation and get our values. Right? I hope guys it is clear for you, everyone.
Yeah, yeah. It is clear, sir. I understand.
See here I showed you logic. Now it's in your hand how and where you can use this logic to do different activities in your environments, right? But first you practice whatever I have showed you. Later on you can do your R&D research and make it more useful in your environments. So for today guys, I'm going to stop here only. Tomorrow we will see some other concept taking input from the users and all. So let me stop here only guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much.